Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. Quick couple things before we get started. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Get Heavy Podcast. $1 a month gets you in the door, early access to episodes and bonus content. Rate, subscribe, follow, and review the podcast on all audio outlets. It really does help. Check out the YouTube. Hit that notifications bell, subscribe button. Doesn't mean shit to you, but it means a lot to me. And check out the merch, localshop.com/Get Heavy Podcast. We got new merch dropping soon. I appreciate everyone that supported so far. Also, go ahead and give us a call on the Get Heavy Hotline, 805-666-2314. And you can leave your weird story, message, answer the question of the week, rates, reviews, fucked up shit, send your memes, texts, voicemails, whatever you want. Know that it will maybe used on the podcast if it is good. Having said all that, enjoy the episode. Get Heavy Podcast. Hosted by Craig Gonzalez.
Is that better?
No. Now I can hear you.
Lucky sons of bitch.
Yeah. Look, I didn't realize you had a fucking full aquarium back there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're eating on the podcast, huh?
Did you start already?
No. Yes.
Oh, okay. Either way, we're good.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, dude?
Oh, fuck. Trying to get my shit together, go to Colorado tomorrow. What's going on with you?
I'm fucking hanging out, hiding out. Sick kids, fucking, staying home for the day.
My daughter hit me up a little while ago telling me that she's got COVID. Her boyfriend's got COVID. My nephew had COVID. My best friends have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
When is it our turn, bro? I'm starting to feel left out.
I don't know. I got so cocky. I started believing that I have incredible genetics. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I don't know if incredible is the word. I think more cockroach.
Yeah, cockroach genetics. But it's arguable that cockroach genetics are incredible.
Hey, it is the white trash gene of you're just gonna build up your immune system through digging in shit and playing in dirt and just the whole thought process of like I'm not gonna get sick. Right.
Yeah, I'm
now
actually,
we're both gonna get sick.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually devising a new like a full workout health regime where basically you go to primordial living and you dig in dirt and you eat shit all day and you fucking have to figure out how to get your hands dirty, brother. Get those live elements on you. That's what I'm doing.
But you know that's a fact, and you know that it's true. It's why
it is true.
My generation, if you grew up like I did, didn't tend to get very sick.
Yeah.
We didn't have peanut allergies and all the other stuff that's going around nowadays.
Yeah. Well, my kids, if that's any case, because my kids are the dirtiest children I know. So they're they're fucking incredible. King is the dirtiest kid I've ever met. Every time I look at him, it looks like he smeared his face in dirt.
That's the best.
I know, it's amazing. But he rarely ever gets sick.
That's what a young man is supposed to look like.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's supposed to look like he's working in a coal mine.
Yeah. That means he's outside digging around in dirt, having a good time.
But he's not. That's the scary part. He's fucking not, dude. He's not outside at all. So something, I don't know what it is. I asked him, I'm like, did you roll in dirt today? And he's like, no, didn't touch anything. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe your pale skin just attracts it. I am not sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts, man.
Again, the age difference and all that, but we didn't shower for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. Our bedrooms always smelled like butthole and feet.
That's kind of all boys though, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't. I shower the second I think that I'm smelling nowadays. You know, oh my God, it's. And I think back to when I was in high school and junior high. I was a filthy dirt dog, man.
I know, disgusting. Man. It's crazy. I would ride bikes all day, do jumps, eat shit, dig holes. We tried to make tunnel, caves. I'd come home and not even think about taking a shower, dude. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like I was so. And my mom would come in and be like, "You fucking stink." And I'm like, do I? Yeah, weird.
I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't brush my teeth this morning.
Yeah, or the last 3 days in a row.
And that's the reality.
Yeah, totally, dude. My boy will be talking to me sometimes. I'm like, "Go brush your teeth," and he's like, "I did." I'm all, "There's no way." There's no way. If
you did, you need to again use more toothpaste. You funky little bastard.
I know, they're so nasty, dude. It's fucking crazy. You know what this is weird though is my shower thing has I showers in the evening now. Do you do that or do you shower in the morning? Are you a morning guy?
It depends on whether I'm working or not.
Okay.
Because when I get off work, I have to come home and shower.
Right. That's what stopped me from taking showers in the morning because I'm fucking filthy all day. So why even get in the shower if I know I'm going to be filthy anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went from a shower in the morning guy to I exclusively shower in the evenings now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
If I spent the night with hookers, then usually I'll let the funk linger until the morning so that I can kind of get a refresher for what I paid for.
Right. You've got hookers before, huh? What's up, guys? Today's podcast is sponsored by Metal Assault Records. For the last 12 years, these guys have been putting out the most incredible heavy metal, doom, psych, rock and roll, any fucking band you want to hear in any metal genre. Metal Assault Records has been doing it. LA-based label. They're celebrating their 12th year anniversary by doing a big festival in Palmdale, California, February 12th and 13th at the Transplants Brewing Company, an incredible brewery and venue. We've played there. It is shocking how awesome it is, especially even for Lancaster or Palmdale. Go ahead and check it out. So we got, let's see, on the 12th, we got Claustrophobia playing, Voices of Ruin, Malison, just to name a few. On Sunday, we got some big hitters, Void Vader, Old Blood, Dawn Fades, Authors of Fate, Sea of Snakes, all kinds of fucking good bands. It's going to be 2 full days. They are premiering a beer. They're going to have vendors, all kinds of stuff. We will be there on Sunday, harassing probably most band members and people. So come check out our booth, and you can get tickets online. Look at Metal Assault on all social medias, Metal Assault Records, and go ahead and support. We hope to see you guys there.
No, man, this is a fucking jokes.
I don't know.
I honestly, man, I wouldn't even know where to
I know, where do you find hookers, so dude?
Well, just okay. So I know,
on
you
shady
you
corners,
play at GG's, you play at GG's, right?
I know, yeah, but imagine who do you even call an escort service? Does that even work? I feel like it's an FBI plant. Immediately, I'd get busted. I'd be the one asshole that gets busted immediately getting a hooker through an escort company.
And what's the COVID protocol?
I have none, zero right now. Getting a hooker right now during COVID would be top. I wonder if they have hazard pay, hazard pricing. You know what I mean?
They need to. Shit.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, they're just out there trying to make a living.
I know, man. God bless them. I've always thought about how crazy it would be to get one because I've never paid for pussy. I mean, I pay for it every day, but I've never actually paid for pussy. And I always think about God, where would you even start with that? You know what I mean? Maybe in Vegas, I could get it. I could see it. You know what I mean? But
we went to, me and some buddies, we all rode our Harleys out to Vegas one year. And it was back in the day. So there was a lot of no sleep going on. We ended up pulling the motor. So one of the motorcycles stopped running. So we had to take our belts off, and we made a long strap, and we towed ourselves into Vegas. And it wasn't, and we were still going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, of course.
So by the time we actually got to Vegas and we got to the room and everything got set up, which there's 8 of us or 10 of us and we got 2 rooms.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I just want to sleep, man. Just let me find a corner. I'll put my pillow down. I'll go to sleep, whatever. And the one room was all the dudes, and then another couple stayed in another room. So I just laid on the floor in their room. And then once the dudes left, I'm like, well, fuck, man, I'm going to go lay down in their room. They're all going to go out. They're not going to come home tonight, And I lay down, and I'm starting to get to sleep, and I hear a tap on the door, and I walk over, and there's a hooker at the door. And she's like, hey, somebody ordered an escort. And I'm all, man, I'm sorry, but I wasn't in here. I don't know who did it. I just came over from another room to go back to sleep. I don't know what to tell you. And she goes, well, you're going to have to pay for it. And I went, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for this shit. You can use the phone, do whatever you got to do, but I ain't paying for it. In the meantime, inside my head, I'm going, this chick is fine as hell. She was gorgeous. Oh my God. She was beautiful, wearing a little plaid skirt and tight top, redhead, fair skinned. I was like, and this is back in the broke dog days too.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, how much money do I have in my account? Do they accept credit cards?
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Yeah, totally.
But I still, I don't, I'm like, nah, man, you're tripping. If you think you're going to get any money out of me, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Make phone calls, tell whoever you got to tell that there ain't nothing happening.
Yeah.
Not happy.
Fuck, man. I bet. Well, you didn't get a visit from anyone, did you?
No, hell no. I mean, it is what it is. If they would have, we would have had a discussion and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. I've always like, I have no fantasy about fucking a hooker at all, but it's just like, it's a trip to even like, what do you just Google like hookers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
you look, it's escort. You just look up.
I know, but
let's go to dinner.
Yeah. We should try to find some. I wonder if there's gotta be some in Ventura. I'm sure there is.
My birthday's a couple weeks away.
This is true. I'll start looking now.
Yeah. Yes.
You like them hairy and large, right? That's hairy and
you're
petite.
pretty.
Actually, hairy and petite, I think, is more your style.
Just look at your reflection, and we're there.
There you go.
That's all I need. Yeah. Yes. I'll tie myself up. I don't want you to get uncomfortable with tying me up and stuff. That's kind of weird, but
I feel good about
I'll
it.
take care of it.
I've been working on my knots, dude.
Then we're in.
Yeah, we're good.
So you do the rope where you double it up and then you swing it around and then you wrap it around nice. So that
like
it's
a noose,
tight, but you can get it. Yeah. Well, hey man.
The quick release.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, that's.
I saw a video once.
That's right. Your birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. How old are you going to be?
Yes, sir.
Let me guess. Hold on. Let me guess.
Fuck you.
Let me guess. Hold on. Give me a minute.
I already know what you're going to say.
You literally, are you sure you don't have COVID? You sound like your Cadillac trying to start right now, dude.
Shit, at least this sounds like it's going to start. Cadillac ain't starting for shit.
Let's see. You're going to be 54? 3. 52.
Yeah, you're close.
Am I?
52.
Okay.
Yeah, 52.
I know I went to your 50th, and I can't remember. I know it was a few years ago. Felt like a few.
It was a good one, man.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's one of the best parties that ever happened in Ventura. Like, it was so much fun and so diverse and so many people having a good time. It was awesome, man.
It was a good birthday party, but I'm not sure it was the best party in Ventura. Ever.
Name one better.
I can name 1,000 ones that were better. I went to a party once where I bench pressed a Korean dude. That was way better.
They're small people. That's not impressive, bro.
It was pretty impressive. It was involuntary. He didn't want to be benched.
I bench pressed an African American.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit. All right, that's real, but a Korean?
Well, he was solid 150, and he didn't want to be bench pressed either. So it was a bench pressing against his will.
It's really a trip how you brought this right back around to prostitution.
It was actually the night that I made out with my wife for the first time.
Oh, really?
Good party. So that was a great party, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one.
It was a Salzers party.
All right.
So it was just like a random Salzers party, dude. And I went over after work, and they had already been there drinking. And the chicks whose house it was, her roommate was like a Thai princess, I'm sorry, like some sort of a Korean princess, or maybe she was Thai. I can't remember, but she was like an actual princess, like of royalty, right? And a bunch of her friends from like Orange County came up. There's a bunch of like Korean and Thai guys, a bunch of Asian guys were all there. And so they were fucking hammered. And so I went in and took 3 shots of 151 to like catch up real quick. And so he was standing in the kitchen, and it hit me in like, a wave. And I was like, let's fucking get this party started. I grabbed him and I just fucking pressed him like above my head. And then I made him my drinking partner for the rest of the night. And I tortured this fucking guy for like 6 hours. It was awesome.
That's the funnest shit, man.
Yeah.
It really
and then I made out with Rosie on the couch.
While the Korean filmed it?
Nah, he was passed out. He had passed out. I kept waking him up. He was trying to pass out, and I kept waking him. I was like being such an aggravating fucking nightmare to him. You know what I mean? But yeah,
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, but yeah, it got me a wife. So there you go.
She was impressed by the bench press.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. It really. It said she got it. It got her fucking going, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She must have been drinking extensively.
Yeah, she was. That's how I keep her. I keep her steadily drunk.
That's how you keep me too.
Yeah. Which I guess we're not doing the podcast in the same room tonight, so that's a bummer. It
sucks, man.
I know it really sucks, but my kids are kind of sick right now. You're leaving, right, to go somewhere fun?
I'm leaving, and my nephew just got over his shit, and
right.
We've been trying to figure all that out and make sure that everybody's healthy and safe, and following COVID protocols, so that we all stay with the parameters of what the CDC and our great governor likes.
Yeah, dude, how fucking nuts is this? Like every single person we know has
I don't even. It's insane. I mean, and listening to doctors, not the news, not anything else. Listen to guys that are doctors talk about it. They're just like, everybody's going to get it, and that's just what's going to happen. There's no avoiding it. Sooner or later, you're going to get it. Now, how sick you get depends on what you want to do. And for the most part, that's what it seems like to me, is the people that are vaxxed, they get sick and they're just like bored of sitting home after 10 days. And,
right.
They're sick for 2 days and feel off. And then the people that, like this just literally happened to one of my best friends, and him and his wife both have COVID right now. She got vaccinated. He didn't. She felt like she had a bad cold, and he was sicker than a broke dick dog for like 4 or 5 days.
Right. Yeah.
So, if you, whatever you want to do it. I don't care. Don't judge. Let people be people,
Yeah. It's weird, man. Cause my coworker lost his dad like a month ago to it. And then, he was old and not doing well, and got him. He wasn't unvaccinated. He was unvaccinated. And then I just had to work with a guy the other day that had just gotten over it, not vaccinated, and it fucking leveled him for 2 weeks. I mean, he was messed up. But most everyone I know is like, yeah, I felt like shit for 2 days, and now I'm at home. You know what I mean?
But most people we know are like, all right, we'll get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Majority of the people that we know, for the most part, I have some friends that, in the two-wheel community that are like, I'm not, that's not, we're not, I'm not.
You've never made motorcycles sound gayer than saying the two-wheeled community. You just made it sound like one step above unicycling, dude.
As a member of the two-wheeled community.
All right, so I don't know if you know this or not, but bikers tend to be a bit more on the rebellious side and don't like to bow down to the fucking man. So they don't like getting shots and that shit unless it's heroin.
There
Is that better?
That sounded better.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a prominent member of the two-wheeled community. We should make shirts out of that.
I'm down.
Two-wheeled community, with rockers on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna get that going, dude.
So you've seen the license plate on my Harley?
No.
So my license plate is FTW, and then it's Big J. And there's no way I thought that I'd ever get that.
Okay.
But I just softened the approach up as much as I possibly could. FTW stands for Ever Two Wheels. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I work in the motorcycle industry. This is what I've been doing my whole life. My father was I went to town on all that shit and ended up getting it, man, and was super, super fucking happy. But I'm thinking there's no way they're giving me this, man.
And they gave it to you, huh?
Yep.
That's
best
amazing.
License plate you can get.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now that you've ruined FTW.
Why you're so negative today. You just keep pushing this doubt and
I'm grumpy today, dude.
Oh yeah, you've been home all day with the kids.
Yeah, they've been fine. I just cooped up in the house. Fuck.
Why don't you go for a bike ride, man?
I did.
Grab King, take him out.
No, I don't want to do that. No, I went. Hey. I did a full dad move and went for a drive as soon as Rosie got in the door. And went and stared at the beach for a minute. It was nice. I'm just fucking. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Maybe because
it's not today.
It's every day.
It's pretty much most of the time. It's fun. I enjoy it, but it's take a value, man. Calm down a little bit, man.
I wish I could
comb out your beard or something.
I know it's ready. Why don't you look at that thing, dude?
This fucking thing is elegant. Look at this thing. It is soft and luxurious.
Is it?
Oh, you fucking think it isn't?
Yeah.
Man, you fucking come over here and touch this thing, you'll get hard.
Yeah, man. Hey, did you hear that the Supreme Court blocked the federal mandate for vaccines for businesses today?
It's against the Geneva Code. They're not supposed to be able to do that anyway.
Well, I know, but they officially blocked it today.
Good.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, look, it should be a personal choice. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but this is America, land of the free. And whether you appreciate what we've gone through or you think one thing or another or whatever,
right?
We're a country of you have a choice, and to sit here and try to say that you have to do this and you have to do that, and if you don't do that, you can't work, and if you don't do that, you can't. It's wrong, man. It's just wrong.
I know it's weird
and it's illegal and it's against the Geneva Code.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know I don't know about the Geneva Code thing, but I mean, I know that for me, it feels obviously I want everyone to get vaccinated who wants to get vaccinated. You know what I mean? And I think, and I've said it 1,000 times, the people who aren't know the risk and they're willing to take it, and that fucking let them take it. But for them to mandate it that's scary to me. It gets scary. You know what I mean? So as much as the Supreme Court's run by a bunch of fucking weirdos now, it's one thing I actually kind of agree with. You know what I mean?
My personal feeling on all of this is, if this is the guidelines on what we think you guys should do, I think you guys should do this as a business. You guys should do this.
Mm-hmm.
Not you have to do this, and if you don't do this, we're going to fucking shut you down and we're going to close down your business, which is what they've done.
Right.
And you're starting to see the pullback on it. I went to LA a couple of weeks ago to go see a show.
Mm-hmm.
And downtown LA was fun.
Oh, yeah?
Had a good time. Yeah, went to this restaurant called Fixin's. Fantastic soul food restaurant, one of the best I've ever been to.
Really?
Fantastic, man. I'll tell you about it. It was amazing. And then we went to a show last week We went to see a play called Cages downtown LA. And
I've seen ads for that. Is it good?
Oh man, look, I advise against drinking a lot before you go there.
Okay.
Because you might end up passing out and missing most of it. But everybody else that was with me thought it was amazing. Yeah.
Where was it? At the Pantages or something?
No, it's a little theater downtown on like 7th.
Oh, okay.
In an alleyway next to another art place.
Are you sure it wasn't just like a swingers club you went to?
That was after.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
Cages, yeah.
Hey, man, honestly, take Rosie
to a swingers
down
club.
There.
I don't think she's gonna like it.
Well, you know, she don't let her know till you're in there. You know,
that'd be a wild date, dude.
Yeah. Fantastic show, great production.
That's cool.
You walk in there and it's like you're walking into a speakeasy. You hang out for a little bit. Everything is really set up really cool and really neat. Anybody listening to it, I highly recommend it. Don't pay for the VIP. I don't think it's worth it. But it was really a multimedia type play. So there was people up on stage acting with what was going on in the background and with all of the lighting and everything.
Okay.
If you're into hallucinogens, I highly recommend a light dose mushroom experience to go watch it because it would only be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a word.
I've only been to one play in my entire life, and it was the Book of Mormon. And it was.
I heard that was amazing.
I can't imagine a play being better than that. So I like almost nothing else interests me because that was one of the most incredible fucking things I've ever experienced in my entire life. I have not laughed that fucking hard in probably since like Team America came out, probably. You know what I mean?
If it ever comes back out, I definitely want to go see it.
Yeah.
Besides Cages, the only play I've ever been to was Young Frankenstein.
Oh.
And it was the same thing. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was such a good time.
Yeah.
I went with my wife 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like I didn't know what I was getting into.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you know, we're at a playhouse surrounded by these older, rich white folks, and I started getting uncomfortable. They're just so awkward. You know, they're just weird people.
Yeah.
But the show was so much fun. You know, I'm down for anything. You know,
right.
I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this Cages thing. I would be more than willing to go see any play or, you know.
Yeah.
I always wanted to see Cats.
Why?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's like the last thing I'd ever want to see in my entire life is a play about fucking cats, dude.
It's the production. It's everything that goes along with it. You know what I mean?
I know. I get it. I understand it, but no fucking way, dude. No way, dude.
Do you ever like think to yourself, sometimes maybe one of these days I should be a little cultured? You know, maybe have some sort of couth and not just fucking keep dragging your caveman, knuckle dragging, big-headed ass around. Just make a derogatory comment.
My head's
about
not that big, dude. My head's not that big. Physically.
Just the camera?
I don't know. Looking at
you.
I hear what you're saying, and I am pretty cultured. Just not with the play Cats, okay? I like art.
Okay. Yeah.
I like shit like that.
And that's the best way to sum it up. I like shit like that. I'm way into shit like that. I like art and shit.
I like fucking
too.
Yeah, I like stuff like that, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not cats.
No, just so long as it's a fucking two-eyed dragon standing over a wizard squatting on a mushroom.
Now you got my attention.
Oh, I'm with you.
Got my attention.
With a little Jethro Tull playing in the background.
Sweet music, dude. Sweet. You know, I don't appreciate you calling me grumpy all the time. It's rude, by the way. And I am cultured. I'm a cultured motherfucker, dude.
You have to hang out with you.
Look at, don't you see me in my Applebee's hat? That's culture.
Applebee's. I can't really. What the fuck is your hat?
It says Applebee's. It's from my favorite fucking dude ever, Meth Syndicate, Eric. He has a whole company where he does fucked up designs. Like, I'll have to show you this site, dude. Shout out to Meth Syndicate.
I mean,
he's been on the podcast before. He's incredible. Fucking Meth Syndicate. Look it up.
Meth Syndicate. Okay.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. But I got this. They did a event at Fatty Vegan the other day, and he came down and had a bunch of his merch. Fucking so good, dude. Everything is so good. Like, it's all play on words. It's fucking great.
What was it that was going on at Fatty Vegan recently?
Strung Out played.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're doing their year anniversary, so they're doing a concert every Saturday.
At Fatty Vegan. That's over there by Big Lots in Ventura off Orchard.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Opposite from the garage at 1091 Scandia Avenue. Huh? I got it.
How good is it?
Did I get it?
How good is it that you got it? Yes. 1091 Scandia Avenue. Don't forget, January 23rd, Big J's birthday bash and jamboree.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a potluck, and luckily, we'll be smoking a lot of pot. Swing on by and say hi.
Yeah, there's nothing cooler than a 57-year-old man celebrating his birthday. You know what I mean? Come on down.
I've been waiting for you to hit the 60 mark. That's what started me laughing the first fucking time. I'm like,
you're going to be 185 by the time this podcast ends.
Oh, I don't want to be 185. It fucking hurts at fucking 52. I can't imagine what it's going to be like at 80.
Yeah, well, a mess. It'll be a mess. So you really do feel like as you get older, as an older gentleman, past the hump, as they say, over the hill, you feel like you let go of a lot. Are you able to let go of a lot of the shit you held on to from the past? Like, as far as like allowing yourself to enjoy shit that's way out of the box?
100%.
You are? You think it just comes with age?
It comes with age and meeting my wife, meeting Portia, and getting around people that were different than what I was used to, because we tend to put ourselves in situations where we're surrounded by like-minded individuals.
All right.
And then when I got with Portia and got around a lot of her friends and just over the years meeting different people that weren't, like in that mindset of that certain whatever it is, whether it's hanging out with guys on motorcycles or lowriders or gym rats or whatever it is, getting around other people and then just saying like, okay, do I want to keep being this human, or do I want to open up a little bit and let me see what's going on out there? And maybe how I think isn't necessarily the definitive answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see. I know that about you, but it's so funny because it's like either people, when they get older, they either harden and go their one way, or they go the opposite where they accept and they start loving shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's actively a choice or if it's just something that sneaks up on you later. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to choose to accept new shit in your life. Some people just don't. A lot of old fucks that just, they've been set in their ways for a million years and they're never going to change. You know what I mean?
Yep. My dad.
Yeah, my dad.
My dad is a 80-year-old crabby, grumpy old fucking Mick. That dude is like the epitome of what you think of as an old Irishman. Right. I don't have feelings. Everything's going to be fine. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, have feelings.
No, he has. My dad doesn't have feelings.
I got it. No, I got it. I'm with you.
Yeah. He does have a feeling.
It's just really funny.
He's either happy, and that's one feeling,
or mad.
Go fuck yourself,
yeah.
And that's the other feeling.
Yeah.
And he's very vocal about both of them.
Right. I lived a majority of my life like that. You know what I mean? Just because how I grew up. That's it was survival mode. You know what I mean?
I think that part of where I was fortunate is I like to read, and I got into a lot of different books when I was younger that kind of pointed out that there's other options in life other than living,
All right,
selling drugs and doing drugs.
Do you have any
around.
books in mind that stand out that make you?
Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
Oh, really? I never read that
Yeah.
one.
I fucking haven't read it in 20 some years. And
really?
Yeah. And I remember that one. All the Louis L'Amour shit. Big Louis L'Amour fan.
I don't know who that is.
Louis L'Amour is a Western writer. He wrote cowboy books, and it's just yeah. I recently watched a documentary about prison, and not a documentary. Sean Atwood podcast, great podcast. He talks to these different people, and one of the guys he was talking to is this guy named John Abbott. And John Abbott spent many, many years in prison. He was a white dude that told the AB, Aryan Brotherhood, I'm not doing this. I'm going to run my own car. And he did it. He's just like, I'm not, yeah. But the story that he's talking about, and they talk about how all these guys in prison read Louis L'Amour books, and how respect and all of this stuff that's laid out in his books kind of brings itself back into how everybody acts in prison.
Really?
Yeah. And
interesting.
It, as growing up and listening to those books, or not listening to, I've read he's got 250 or some books, and I've read, I think, most of them, if not all of them. It's all about respect and treating people right and doing the right stuff, and how that pertains to the guys in prison, I don't know.
I know shit gets twisted, but there is a hierarchy and order, a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I've never been to jail or nothing, so I don't fucking have any frame of reference, but all the felons I know that I talk to all the time, there really is there's a code, that needs to be followed, or you will be followed, or you're going to get fucked up.
Hey, look, man, I have a hard time with it to this day. It affects me constantly. It's respect.
Mm-hmm.
It is, don't talk out of turn. Don't, there's a lot of different things that you do and you don't that are just about respect. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think that it seriously lacks in our society, and that a lot of people need to get slapped into understanding, like, it's not okay for you to do this stuff.
Right.
And so many people are so unaware of, interrupting somebody when they're talking, or walking by and bumping into somebody, or like spill something on my shirt, scuff my shoes, lean against my Cadillac. Like, there's so many different little things where if you do it, I'm going to go like, hey man, like, don't do that. And when I was younger, I would have not been so nice in the way that I would say things. I learned that lesson when I was 14 or 15 years old, and I would gotten off my motorcycle, and there was a dude there. His name is Val, and Val's a hardcore gangster Crip. And he was driving a Caprice, and I set my gloves on the hood of his car. And when I set my gloves on the hood of his car, he turned around and smacked me in my mouth and said, "Get your fucking gloves off my car." And so I took the gloves off of his car. And then after all of it was said and done, he was like, "Hey man, you don't ever let anybody disrespect your shit. That was a lesson. Don't do it again. Sorry I smacked you in the mouth, but I needed you to understand and learn a lesson about somebody disrespecting your stuff." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a stupid fucking thing to get mad about, right? I mean, I understand.
Hold on.
It seems to me
when
to be fucking dumb.
When you grow up and you live in that life, and nobody gives you anything.
Yeah,
you don't get a bicycle for Christmas. You got to get that fucking bicycle.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody gives you fucking anything. So then when you do finally get it, you don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
I'm still like, I'm not going to punch somebody in their mouth, but you let somebody lean up against my Cadillac in a pair of jeans and watch what happens.
Right.
Like you can see it immediately in my face. You will say, you're going to see me be like, hey, if somebody leans against my truck or somebody parks, there's so much of that stuff that comes from that old school respect stuff. And I think society is lacking and really is hurting from the fact that people just feel like it's okay to do whatever they want with no consequences.
I mean,
and
I
do
understand. I understand the thought process of it, but the reality is that mentality has carved its way into I think people being overreactive about shit that's not disrespectful at all. You know what I mean? Like to show respect is one thing, but when you look at a lot of like what happens, now someone's looking at you, you're disrespected. Now someone's fucking fighting because you looked at him because they're disrespected. Now someone's fucking pulling a gun because they looked at him and now they're disrespected. Like that mentality, I think I think it's some of it is a lost art. Some of it is perpetuating this fucking unnecessary mentality that causes violence later. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
You know what
and
I mean?
it just comes from different cultures and where you grew up and
right.
what you come up in.
I understand people respecting you in your house, respecting you as a person, all that shit. But when it comes to like something as simple as putting your gloves on someone's car, it's like now people get shot, you get shot over shit like that. And it's fucking that type of reaction is what perpetuates that fucking shit. You know what I mean? So part of me, it seems stupid.
Look, I can understand that, but he didn't knock my teeth out. He didn't knock me onto the fucking ground.
Yeah.
He just reached over and popped me in my mouth.
Sure.
It's the same thing as getting chest checked by a big OG. If you're standing there and you speak out of turn or you say something that you shouldn't necessarily be saying, or you speaking up in an atmosphere where maybe you shouldn't, and somebody reaches over and just chest checks you, hey man, pipe down.
Yeah, know your place.
Not the time to talk. Know your place. And I see so many people nowadays, and I'm not saying that this should be going on or whatever, but when I sit there and I see dudes that are I keep using old terms, but like where they should just be sitting there listening and not talking or not being in the conversation, or somebody else is talking and they just pipe in on the conversation, and how they do it is out of turn, meaning it's not their place to be in that conversation. And their parents and the people around them never taught them manners, because you have a right at 2 years old and 3 years old and 4 years old to express your opinion in a group full or a house full of adults.
Yeah.
When maybe you shouldn't.
Right.
So then that entitlement comes along, and that thing where you think that you should be able to just do whatever you want because you're a free thinking human being. Well, there's hierarchies. There's way things that, and we see what we're going through right now, where you get Newsom that's sitting there going, hey man, this is what we have to do. And everybody's going, okay, let's all comply. And the same thing with the fucking Anthony Fauci, where he's going, this is what we have to do. And everybody's going, all right. When there's other doctors that have just as much clout as him that are going, hey, wait a minute. We don't have enough research in this. We don't know what we're doing.
Right.
So, the fact that they're shutting doctors down and doing all this stuff and everybody's ignoring it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We should all be thinking on our own. We should all be like, just, it comes back to these people that are just kind of
entitled
and just not really thinking outside of their box, their little left, whichever way they want to go, because I don't think there's any difference at all anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are literally not listening, and a lot of people are just waiting for their turn to talk. Right. I mean, that's all. I think what a lot of it is, but it's always interesting to me that, so much of those old school values are so much of the old school values are important, and I think a lot of them have been lost, and then a lot of them are fucking dumb. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and it's hard to like you don't, I don't know. It's hard for me to pick and choose because as a kid and growing up in my family, if you were a kid and you did decide to speak up, you better fucking say something interesting or funny or tell a good story. Because otherwise you're not going to get smacked in the mouth, but you're going to get made fun of. You know what I mean? Like, or you're going to be, hey, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And so those things I do agree with, you know what I mean? But a lot of like, you know, it's so weird for me because when my kids speak, I let them speak I was allowed to freely speak at my house, and never was the kid that would cuss my mom out or do any of that shit. I'd get smacked immediately if I did that. I was allowed to express my feelings, you know what I mean? And I thought that was important, but also I knew that like in an adult situation where my mom has friends over and if I'm going to fucking take the room for a minute, I better have a fucking something really good on deck that I'm going to be saying, you know, or something that's going to add value to the conversation and not take it away. And I learned that when I didn't have anything to say, I shut the fuck up and I listened. You know what I mean? It was those are important values for me. You know what I mean?
And same. You know, my dad told me when I was pretty young, hey, look, man, if you want to hang out in the room with the adults,
right,
don't talk.
Right. Yeah. Just listen.
You know, just you hang out, you listen. Don't be a pain. Don't ask for anything. Just chill. If that's what you want to do, fine. Yeah. And I did. And my dad took me everywhere with him. And a lot of the times he wouldn't take my brother, you know, because my brother and my cousins and stuff, they'd all be like, right. Like, man, what the fuck are you guys talking for, man? We're, you know, let's hang out and see what they're doing.
Yeah. You do find a lot of like, you know, when I was a kid listening to my grandpa and everyone talk, and obviously they said wild shit, you know, that I would fundamentally disagree with at this point. But, you know, it was valuable to hear the perspective of an older generation. You know what I mean? Like, and so I don't know that it's completely lost. I guess it is completely lost on kids because, you know, dealing with my kids now in the ages they are in, everything is very black and white, you know, for the most part. Like Scout's just now starting to be able to see the gray and everything. You know what I mean? Whereas like, you know, the King and you know, right in that 8 to fucking 12, you know what I mean? Everything is like, it's either they understand it or they fucking don't understand it. You know what I mean? It's
but I also, it goes back to, I think it's what your community is. I mean, I think that a lot of what we are around and what we hear is the vanilla community, and there's the root beer brown community and the dark chocolate community, and both of those communities, things tend to be a little bit different than what we do.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, and so, you know, the blanket statement of this is how it is now isn't, you know, necessarily true. You know, I just, you know, I think that letting kids just be able to say what they want to say and do what they want to do is ludicrous.
Yeah. I mean, I think to a certain point, you know, it's hard. It's hard to manage, you know what I mean? Because as a guy who was that kid that, you know, fucking at times felt like I could say shit and times I didn't, you know what I mean? It's hard to find that balance, dude, where you teach your kids how to be respectful in an adult conversation, but then also be able to be free enough to where, you know, if they have something, you know, that's going to add value to the conversation, they can chime in, you know what I mean? But I do have those old school thing. Like King used to do this thing where he would try to take my hat from me when I was talking to somebody. No. You know, just like he's a fucking dumb kid. He thinks it's super funny. And I had to sit him down one day and go, listen to me, man. It does actually kind of go along with the touching, leaving the gloves on the car thing. I was like, it feels wildly disrespectful for me for you to come grab my fucking hat off my head while I'm talking to somebody. You know what I mean? Like I know you don't mean ill of it. You think it's because we do play the game. We would play a game a lot, you know what I mean? Or whatever. We'd fuck around. But, you know, I had to tell him like, dude, it is highly disrespectful to me if you come up and rip my fucking hat off my head while I'm in the middle of a conversation with adults. And, he just didn't realize it, you know what I mean? And he's never done it again, you know what I mean? But,
yeah,
and I didn't have to beat him or anything to do it, but I really had to like, be like, dude, do not do that ever again. You know what I mean?
It's the taking the time and realizing like, okay, yeah, you're right. Because if in my youth was, not, it was for years. If somebody was to walk up, be it my nephew or whatever, and snatch my hat off my head,
Right.
There's a chance
it was a fight.
not a fight, but he might catch a little fucking slap to the side of his head.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He might get tripped as he was running away, and then I would pounce on top of him and then torture the shit out of him.
Totally.
The old
loogie, the string loogie spit in his face.
Oh, dude, the fucking
yeah,
right in the chest, dude. That's
totally
the worst,
oh,
man.
It's a good one.
And
man.
you don't even have to do it hard.
No,
just enough to where
they're
trying to scramble. They're not scrambling nowhere.
The art of torturing your siblings is incredible.
My brother and my best friend in high school, freshman year in high school, they would come and attack me, and so they would come and they'd try to fight me, and I would fuck around and we'd wrestle for a little bit, and then I'd end up getting them on the ground, and I'd grab them by the back of their head and by their ears, and I'd rub their forehead back and forth on the carpet, and I'd give them fucking rug burns across their forehead.
Yeah.
And my brother came up to me one day and was like, "Hey man, don't do that anymore, bro. It's not cool.
Oh, don't fuck with me.
I'm going to school with rug burns on my forehead. You could do other things, man."
You could do other things.
And he was right. I listened. I never did it again. You know, I thought it was funnier than shit when I was doing it.
Oh, dude.
But when he's like, "Hey, man, I got to go to this fucking school with rug burns on my forehead. That's not a good look." I was like, "All right, man, I got you. You're right.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, but they're still not going to not fuck with you. You know what I mean? It's fucking how it goes.
No, I'd get attacked by, I'd be walking down in my neighborhood when I was in high school. It was Lemonwood, and I'd be walking down the sidewalk and all of a sudden, out of the fucking woodwork, like 3 or 4 little Mexican dudes would come out and start fucking attacking me.
Yeah, and
they were friends. I knew who they were, and I would just literally toss them around, man. It was like flinging midgets. Dude. But never thought anything about it. Never, it was fun.
Yeah, man. It was, my sisters would, dude, I would torture them, because I couldn't like, my oldest sister, Carly, we would go to blows because she hits like a man. You know what I mean? Like she would fucking, dude, she'd fuck you up. You know what I mean? So I'd have to punch her every once in a while. But the other ones were like, I'm not going to beat up the girls. You know what I mean? But I would psychologically, emotionally just like scare the shit out of them as much as I can. Scaring people to this day is my favorite thing to do on earth. I can scare any human almost just standing in front of them. You know what I mean? Like, and I used to fucking, I had this, I don't know if I ever told you, I had a old Vietnam phone, and it was like, it was like a phone, and then it had a wire cord and a prong that you'd have to plug into a box, and you'd fucking rack this thing on the side to charge it. Right. So every fucking time you rack, it's 100 volts, dude. And I would fuck my sisters up with that thing. Dude. I mean, we would fuck up my friends. Everyone. It was fair game for everyone. But I'd wait for him to hit the door, and I'd fucking rack the doorknob with it and just shock the shit out of him, dude. It was fucking nuts over there, man. Like the sibling torture is insane, dude. I mean, you couldn't fucking stop.
The best.
Yeah.
And not, siblings and all of our friends.
Oh yeah, dude. We used to do a thing called Backyard Wars when I was a teenager, and it was we were, white trash, of course. So we would draw a line in the backyard, in the middle of the backyard, and there'd be 2 teams, one on each side of the line. How many ever fucking kids were there that day? And the rule was anything you could physically pick up and throw was fair game. So it was like we were throwing shit at each other, but it was like it got to the point where I hit my buddy with a bike. You know what I mean? Like I threw a bike on top of him and then fucking hit him. Like at one time I hit him with something, knocked him on the ground. Then I threw a bicycle on him, right? And then another time he was running for me and I whipped one of those lawn chairs, the folding ones, the old shitty ones with the wicker, little plastic. I whipped it like a boomerang and it wrapped around him and fucking just crumpled him into the ground. He fucking chipped, his tooth on the ground and everything. It was like we went to war, dude. And then Fight Club came out and then it was on, dude. Fight Club changed the game. Like we were just straight doing fight clubs. Like that was it, dude.
We did the same thing. We didn't have
fun.
Fight Club, but we watched martial arts movies and kung fu and karate and
just kick the
ninja
shit out
movies.
of each other.
And literally, and there was no rhyme or reason. There was no, hey, you guys, let's play ninja. And then so you'll hide, and then when somebody comes running around the corner, you kick him in the head.
Totally.
I remember there was this one kid, Chauncey, that I used to fucking torment, man. And he deserved it. He was a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But he came around the corner, and I fucking kicked him, jabbed him in the face, did your Korean move, and just picked him up over my head, and then dumped him in a fucking trash can, and then put the lid on the trash can and kicked the trash can over. And then ran away to go do it to somebody else.
I know, man.
Without thinking, you just smacked the shit out of this dude.
This kid straight has a concussion.
Yeah, but he's just like, oh shit, how am I gonna get the trash can down so I can get out? Right. And let's go do this some more.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. I don't know. I would assume kids still play like that, but maybe they don't.
They don't.
I don't know.
The parents, I mean, maybe somewhere. It's not. The parents nowadays watch everything their kids do.
Yeah, that is true.
And then they're criticizing and telling them to do it or not to do it, and not letting them grow up and learn about this stuff on their own.
Right.
They're constantly telling them don't do this, don't do that. That's not okay. This isn't okay.
Right.
I mean, the fact that if you're not going to let boys go to the playground and play football together and beat each other up and do all that, you need to figure out something for them, because they're going to get that testosterone hit, and you guys are telling them that they need to calm down and figure it out, and they're not ready for that stuff, man. That's where the aggression comes from. That's why Native Americans and so many different cultures are like, hey, you're 16, take this spear and go up into the fucking mountains and kill a wolf
and come back a man.
Yeah, but then you come back and you have to take on all those responsibilities, because your testosterone's a hell of a drug, man.
It's insane, dude. Yeah. Speaking of which, the other day, speaking of no interference parenting, I was at the park with the kids, and Bronson is 3, but he's little. He's a little dude. And I let him climb up shit that's way too fucking big. And I don't, you know what I mean? I kind of watch him, but I make sure I don't intervene that much, because he has to figure out how to fucking do that stuff. You know what I mean? So there was this, it's like a big slanted, it has rock crawling shit on it that you can climb up onto the play structure.
Yeah.
And so he decided he wanted to go down it. You know what I mean? I was like, hey man, and it's above my head. You know what I mean? It's a fucking tall thing. So I'm kind of watching. I'm like, I don't know, buddy. And that's all I said. Right? I didn't get up to move. I didn't do nothing. Right. And so he got down and he fucking lost his little claws, dude. And he started sliding and he slid off that motherfucker and went whap onto the ground. I mean, it was like wood chips. You know what I mean? And instead of I didn't run over there immediately. You know what I mean? I just kind of watched what happened, and he fucking wham hit the ground and woke up, and then he didn't pass out, but he got up.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And then he looked around and I wasn't standing there. You know what I mean? And then he kind of shook it off. And then when I walked around the corner, then he started crying. You know what I mean? Because I knew that I had to go help him at least. You know what I mean? So I went to check on him, make sure he didn't have a fucking giant, but he fell a good 4 feet straight down, just swap off the side of it, and then I kind of gave him a little hug. I was like, you all right, buddy? I looked at his face. He was okay. And then he immediately wanted to do it again. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, dude, fucking have at it. And I let him climb up it and I let him slide down it and he fucking figured it out. You know what I mean? And I just think that it's so important to let them, I mean, I don't want to see them get hurt, but you know, you have to let them figure out like, this is fucking dangerous, dude. You know what I mean? Like maybe I shouldn't do that, you know?
My dad is honestly, man, he's one of my biggest heroes in my life. I love him to death. You know, we've been through a lot. He's been through a lot. You know, we had our, you know, that testosterone thing when I got to be about 14 years old. Where we had issues and stuff. And
yeah.
But as a child growing up, my dad never said, don't.
Right.
My dad said, maybe you shouldn't.
Right. Yeah.
That's maybe not a good idea.
Yeah, totally.
That could end up getting you shocked.
Yeah. It's the perfect phrase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're right, then you're awesome because you're right. And then if you're wrong, like, hey, it fucking worked out. Good job.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Most of the time he was right.
Yeah, totally.
You know, you're gonna smash your finger.
Yeah.
You know, you maybe shouldn't climb up that. This is gonna happen. And okay,
Dad, fuck you.
Yeah. Not even that. It was like, let me show you I can do it.
Right.
You tell me I can. I'm gonna show you I can.
Right.
And then I'm gonna do the same thing Bronson did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking go and then I'm gonna go fuck. And then I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna cry for a second.
Yeah.
And my dad he wasn't coming around to ask if we were okay.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if we weren't knocked out, we were okay.
Right.
You know, so then it was learn how to do this, learn how to take those steps, you know, and I think that we have a new generation of kids and people that are, you know, getting there, that are starting to see like the helicopter parenting isn't doing anybody any good.
No.
You know, it's part of the reason why we have such a high suicide rate amongst teenagers. And, you know, maybe hopefully soon they'll start letting them off the fucking iPads and cell phones.
Yeah, it's hard, man, because we had a conversation with our daughter the other day, you know, and she's just like, she wasn't feeling great. She doesn't have COVID. We've tested her multiple times, but she's got like a fucking face thing, you know what I mean? Face cold, sinus, whatever. And so she's been at home for a few days. And then she was explaining to my wife, like, how she just feels so lonely, you know what I mean? And I forget like how hard middle school is, because first of all,
worst.
Like everyone, and Rosie had a really good like explanation. She's like, look, kid, everyone at your age right now is only looking at themselves. They're only, you know what I mean? Like they're only looking at themselves. And then you have a phone in your hand. So now you're in your own world. And then when the fucking few times you do look up, you realize that no one's like paying attention to anything. And everyone's so worried about being judged by someone else, especially in that age, like that 6th to 8th grade. She's all, every one of you guys feels lonely. Like, I did, my wife, everyone did, you know, at that time in your life. She's like, it's something that it's going to go away eventually. You can't let it like consume you. You know what I mean? Like that feeling of like, because she's at a point now where she's going to have to go to high school and all of her other friends are going to different schools. So they're splitting off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she's so bummed that she's going to be losing her friends, which it happened to me too. And it ended up being the best thing for me. I made lifelong friends in high school that I still talk to, you know, but we were just trying to explain to her, like, you're in such a lonely fucking time right now because it's all introspection. It's all fucking, you're panicking about who you are, who you want to be. Oh my God, are people looking at me? And then you realize, like, if you can realize that everyone else is going through that same fucking feeling right now as you are, then you don't have to be so alone. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are all in this together, you know, and I don't know. I mean, who knows if it helps, but I feel so lucky to be able to express that to my kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And
my wife, who has much more insight, you know what I mean? In life, you know?
So when, like, I went to 13 different schools before I went to high school.
Right. I didn't, not that many, but I'm right behind you. I think 10,
yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So in all of everything,
mm-hmm.
Junior high was 7th and 8th.
Right.
there was one school I think was 7th, 8th, and 9th, but I don't think that I stayed in that school in the 9th. I think I was back down. So it's 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So I went to Channel Islands High School, all that I lasted. That 7th and 8th grade period of time as a young man, back to the testosterone.
Oh, it's
back
insane.
to it was nuts.
Right.
Like how out of bounds and how crazy it was.
It's insane, dude.
You know, I went to Haydock in Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, when you say Haydock, people go, oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like every clique in Oxnard there was a different street on all the cliques, and they would all go to Oxnard, and like we would have fights like out in the neighbor's yard like every day.
Right.
You know, it was just absolutely psycho. So you have all of that pent up emotions and pent up hormones and all of this stuff going on, whether it's male or female or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, you're in 7th grade to 8th grade, and now all of a sudden you have just your parents that you get to deal with this with. You don't have a best friend that's with you every day, where you get up and you go to school with them and talk to them and hang out, and like to do all of that and to feel all that and not have that social, not have the hives, you know, working together, whether it's me and you beating each other up because my beard's better than yours.
Right. Which it isn't.
You know, or, oh yeah. Okay. Whatever, man. You are.
You're 68 years old, dude. I mean, what if you, it looks okay.
You're so jealous. You're such a hater.
I can fucking grow that beard in 10 minutes, dude.
On your eyebrows.
Not on your head.
Like, but I couldn't imagine going through like even the horrible shit that I went through junior high, which was pretty fucking horrible. I still learned so much.
Right.
You know, I learned how to defend myself verbally, defend myself physically, like deal with all of the different things that were thrown at me. And now all of a sudden, these kids are trying to deal with all of this emotions and all these chemicals and stuff going through their body with their parents.
Well, like, because they've been at fucking home for a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like it's just the roughest time for them right now. You know, and I try to keep having compassion for what they're going through. You know, because it's unprecedented. I at least had school where I was there every fucking day, and you had to deal with shit and you had to figure it out. You know, but now it's like my daughter's in 8th grade. And it's her last year of junior high, and she's only basically been there for a fucking year. You know what I mean? Essentially a year and a half at this point, you know, and I think just every one of them feels like so isolated and odd, you know what I mean? On top of the hormones, and especially like the testosterone thing. Like I remember being in that age and just like, I can see it with my son. It's starting to develop, dude. He's just like, it's so nut. Like I heard, I was listening to a podcast with a trans man the other day, and he was talking about how when he started taking testosterone, he's like, I didn't think it was going to be like that. Like he's all, made me have
about a woman transitioning to a man.
Yeah, she was
okay.
Yeah. So she was a woman and started taking testosterone, and she's like, I understand men a little bit better now. She's all, it was fucking nuts to have that much testosterone like pumping through your body. She's like, I totally understand like why men are the way they are. You know? I was like, yeah, well, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like just that feeling of that, you know what I mean? And also, you know,
and the fact that they're trying to shut it down now.
What?
They're just trying to shut it down, saying like you guys should just need to stop being men, stop being what you genetically are and what testosterone does to you, and you need to work through this process. Like there's this whole thing where we need to figure it out. Okay. So we get to be, I was 12 or 13 when I started going to mustache, so that's when that stuff starts to kick in. So then I have to figure out how to take these steps to be a man.
Right.
So that is now everything that you do to do that is considered toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see. Yeah.
And it's wrong. It's not okay. It is like, okay, so what do we do to help them get through it? But that's not what they're doing. Instead of saying, okay, how do we take you guys these steps so that we continue to make good men?
Right.
Instead of going like, well, gender's not a fucking construct or whatever it is they say, like they do all of this stuff for the people that want to go and do this, or if you're a woman and you want to go do this.
Right.
But what they're not doing right now, and it's fucking ludicrous and it needs to change, is they're not going, what are we going to do to get these young men on the right path to figure it out so that we still have a good base of men to work through this stuff? You know what I mean? Like you can't just pretend like gender's just going to disappear and eventually, because that's not how that's going to work. It just doesn't happen. That's the beginning of the end of society, when there is none of that plays into effect. We need to figure out a way, whether it's through jiu-jitsu or some sort of, what is it? The core, the Peace Corps, jiu-jitsu, like
some way for men to develop to be men and not feel like terrible for it, right? And I think it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because I was a man raised by a bunch of women. You know what I mean? So I don't, as much as I could be a misogynist piece of shit, it's just not built into me because I've been around women for so fucking long that it, you know what I mean? It's like the one thing that really, really sets me off is when men disrespect women, like, because I've seen it, I've fucking experienced it a million times, you know what I mean? And that kind of shit. But it isn't, I think the absence of fathers, in the 80s and shit, I was a kid raised without a dad. I had no fucking role models ever in my life. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that has to do with, maybe this new generation of kids that, it's toxic to be a man, to have these feelings, to fucking be honest about them, shit like that. But, I think there will be a point where to be a comprehensive male doesn't just encompass fucking being strong, fast, and fucking, the biggest dick on the block. A comprehensive male is someone who's emotionally fucking adapt as much as they are physically. You know what I mean? I think it's, I do agree with you that, it's hard to be a fucking little like male kid these days. Even my nephews are like, everyone's a lesbian. I don't even, there's like no one to date. You know what I mean? Like, and there are a lot of people that, are just going to be normal hetero fucking people, but it's just that whole mentality. It's a weird time right now, man.
Well, it's because it goes beyond whether or not it goes past like just supporting somebody because this is how they feel. So now instead of it being like somebody that you like somebody, it is just, this is the way that it should, like you guys, if you guys, God damn it, man, this is a rough one, bro. And I go through this all the time.
Yeah.
Like it is, I don't know how to articulate it at all.
Yeah. I feel you, dude.
It is the fact that all of it's encouraged, like, oh, it's great you're lesbian.
Right.
It's great that you feel like this. That is awesome that you feel like this.
Right.
Not that I don't think that anybody should be discouraged.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think that everybody should be encouraged.
Yeah, I feel you, Yeah.
Especially going back to, we can talk about testosterone because that's what we have to deal with. And that's how we go through life. But there's the estrogen fact of everything and the hormonal fact that women go through and the hormonal stuff that they go through. And then how everybody wants to be accepted. And now what society is wanting or what society is perpetuating is that when you transition and you do this stuff, you're now accepted, which how many people are just looking for acceptance? So now here they are in junior high and they're like, man, I've been an alien. I'm just like in my own little bubble. Now I'm getting around all these people. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting around all these people and I just want to be accepted. I want to be part of the norm. I just want to be a part of everything. I felt like a fucking freak. And what that acceptance is I'm going to transition into being a boy. I'm going to transition into like, now I just like women.
Right.
And all men are toxic and they're not cool and they're not okay unless they're non-binary and they're feeling the same way as me.
Right.
And so then it just takes away, it's taken away humanity. It's taken away what actual genetics and what everything really comes down to. If somebody feels that way and that is how they feel, then fantastic, let's support them.
Right.
But to encourage everybody to do it just seems way out of
it's
line.
weird. It's a crisis of identity more, I think, for a lot of the kids that are feeling like that now, you know, because if I were to look back at my life, you know, in a million different scopes and views, there's definitely times where I didn't know who the fuck I was. You know what I mean? Like there was definitely times where I liked girls but couldn't fucking figure out how to talk to one, and definitely times in my life where I felt love for my friends that were males that I was confused was actual love. You know what I mean? Like, not that I just never wanted to make out with them, but you just don't know who the fuck you are. And I do fundamentally disagree with parents, and I'm a parent that I'm a parent that encourages my kids to be whoever they are, but I'm also the same parent that challenges them on their what they're believing at that moment. You know what I mean? And letting them, giving them the room to experience the fact that they can change their minds. They don't have to be this forever. You don't have to be the person you are in 8th grade for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like,
don't put a 14 or 15-year-old on a sex changing chemical.
Right.
It's gonna alter their lives.
Yeah. I just, if you at 18, you want to do it, all you know what I mean?
Whatever. I'm, you know, I would encourage people to get into their 20s, man.
Well,
go
whatever.
Through college. Yeah. Go through college. Like, go through old college, not the new. Yeah. You know, college, the new education. Anyways, that's a whole.
Don't even fucking go to college. Don't even go to college. It's fucking worthless.
Get a trade. Get a trade.
Go to a trans mechanic school, dude. Fucking do that.
Oh,
that's what we should do. Trans mechanics, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think I think you're right. There's a pacification of our children, and there's definitely a fucking thing where it's not cool to be a fucking male. You know what I mean? Not that I'm saying, oh, poor white male guys, you know, they have it so hard right now. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that at all, but
I will. I think we all have it. Look, man, we all have it hard. Like,
everyone has it hard. Yeah.
Everybody sits there and goes, we need, like, especially the people that are so adamant about it, that are like, man, you know, we need to be accepting of this, and we need to be accepting of that. We need to accept this. We need to, and all of these people are minimalized and looked down upon, and they're treated wrong, and it's all white men. Well, wait a minute, man. All you're doing right there is perpetuating what you guys are saying you're against. So it shouldn't be about, it is because of this. It should be like, hey, what can we all do to come together?
Right.
You know, so that, like, we don't all just feel awkward. Like, we don't all just sit in a conversation where we're around people and we're like, whoo, I should probably go outside.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's
you
hard,
guys are obviously talking about me.
Right.
You know, and that's where, I mean, I've sat there many times where I'm sitting there listening to these conversations and I'm going, man, do you guys really realize that all this stuff that you guys are saying, you guys are attacking me.
Right.
You know,
but they don't see it that way because you're in the club, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem, is like, we can make these blanket statements all day about whoever, right? And then you don't assume it's affecting anyone next to you because you're in the club, you're in the fucking whatever, you're in the conversation. It's like, well, dude, you know what, I don't want to feel like a piece of shit just for being me. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if you are a piece of shit, then it's different. You know what I mean? Like,
and when it comes time for me to do some shit that's man shit,
yeah.
At the end of it, nobody goes, "Oh, that was fucked up."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I rush down the street to fucking patch somebody's window up, or I go fix their something, or I go help them out with something, nobody ever goes, "Oh, fuck you and your toxic masculinity." You know what I mean? Yeah, they all go, "Hey, man, I really appreciate that you came and did this."
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done without you doing this.
Yeah.
You know,
no one appreciates toxic masculinity until you have to you get called over to get a mouse out of someone's fucking bathroom.
Oh, dude.
or get rid of a fucking dead possum in a backyard or something. You know,
dude,
now they're like,
a window.
"Oh my God, thank you so much. The made pieces of shit."
Yeah. Exactly. You know, and then you go and do that, and then the next week you're all hanging out together, and they're having a conversation about, mansplaining. And
manspreading.
Like, hey, dude, that manspreading thing. Fuck you guys. I swear to God, dude. Look, I had this conversation with Portia when she's like, "Well, you when you guys sit down, you don't have to open your legs up." I go, "Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do have to open my legs up, because if I close my legs, it's really, really uncomfortable."
Yeah.
And it's because I got these set of balls that sit below my dick,
which you've seen many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm dealing with down there. It's not a fucking mystery.
Dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then for me to sit with my legs closed, or try to sit with my legs closed, or try to even cross my legs,
right,
it's not happening. You know what I mean? So like, why are you gonna give me a bunch of shit about this?
Yeah, but also the next word out of their mouth is like, "Oh my God, there's a spider! Can you get it?" You're like, I don't know, man. My fucking nuts won't allow me to get over there, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a complicated issue, man. You know what I mean? And I just, guys have done some nasty shit in the world, man. I mean, there's a real fucking, you know what I mean? But also,
guys have done, but they also built the world.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, like obviously women have done some spectacular stuff.
Yeah.
Gave
birth to all of us. It's like, it is it doesn't matter what you do, because they are still the birth givers. Like, they don't fucking
and that is so paramount and so huge in it.
It is.
Now
it is huge.
We really point that out.
Yeah.
But Einstein did some shit.
Yeah. Elon Musk, a bad motherfucker, dude.
Tesla, bad motherfucker. Like, there's a bunch of fucking men that were incredibly gifted mentally, that did some astounding stuff, man.
Right.
Yes. And there's some women that did some great stuff. I can't name any of them, but they were out there doing it.
Yeah, obviously. Man. People are spectacular, but it's hard. It's hard. It's such a complicated issue, man.
Craig, name me one.
Amelia Earhart.
God, you motherfucker. The one.
Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall, dude. Jane Goodall's a bad motherfucker, dude. No, she's badass, dude.
Yeah. So was
Mother Teresa.
Nah, come on now.
Aphrodite. Let's
again.
See. Oh,
now you're just getting a fictional character.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell, dude. She's a bad motherfucker. She did some incredible shit. Let's see.
Be nice to my girl now.
Yeah, the monster chick, Charlize Theron, fucking the real life monster. Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Ooh,
did some incredible shit. That was good. Killing rapists.
We could easily do another hour on that one.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Yeah. I still wanted to have sex with her though.
Hey man, I want to have sex with you. I'm not picky.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's go meet up.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of
here. We can meet up January 23rd, 1091 Scandy Avenue, Garage Bar. Big J's birthday bash and potluck spectacular.
89 years old. No problem.
Hey man, 69. and doing fine, bringing it up. You know what I mean? Licking their behind. I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
Thick thighs save lives.
Players got to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right, man. We'll be there at the garage.
All right, man.
All right, buddy. Get Heavy Podcast. Check out the merch. We got new merch dropping. We got a big announcement coming up here soon. Probably, I'm hoping for the 100th episode. We're 3 episodes from our 100th episode. We're going to try to do something fun. I don't know what's happening yet, but it'll probably be a Jay's birthday because he's trying to soak up all the fucking good times. But also make sure and check us out. The February 13th, we're going to be down at the Metal Assault 12-year anniversary show. We're going to have a booth down there. We're going to be selling some shit. So check us out down there, Palmdale, California, Transplants Brewery Company.
Palmdale.
We're going to Pompton, dude. We'll be there. So come hang out with us. And we love you. That's it.
Love you. Peace out.